Welcome back to the video series for publishing a project from ArcGIS Pro to Trimble TerraFlex. This is the last video, video number 7 in the 7-part series. I am Keshlin Reddy in the Survey and GIS branch at eThekwini Water and Sanitation Services. Just to recap what we've done so far, in video 1 we went through the requirements for the system from software to licensing. In video 2, setting up the GDB, file-based geodatabase, including attachments for publishing. In video number 3, how to create an online project in Trimble Connect. In video number 4, publishing the project on Trimble Connect from ArcGIS Pro using the Terra Office plugin. In video number 5, editing the forms and symbology on the Trimble Connect map, or the TerraFlex map, setting up field users and also conditioning the forms. The previous video, in video number 6, there was a brief introduction to TerraFlex and its settings and how to collect forms on site using the Trimble TDC 650 field device. Okay, that's great. Now we've reached a point where we've set up the database and collected data, but we are required to bring it back into the GIS, into ArcGIS Pro, therefore completing the process full circle. Okay, previously we did collect a few points. On the screen now you can see the TerraFlex map inside Trimble Connect, and with the points that was GPSed. Okay, so we've got 7 points here. All of these are required to end up back on ArcGIS Pro, okay, within the file geodatabase that we published these forms from. And the reason being we published from a file geodatabase is that we want to maintain data integrity throughout. Okay, now within ArcGIS Pro, we need to just click on the Terra Office plugin and determine if we are signed in. And of course we're not. So let's click the sign in button, click OK on this warning, which always comes up, and wait for the sign in to happen. We'll get a message coming up here telling us that it's signed in. I have saved my login. It's cached on the system. It automatically does so if it's set up as such in within Google Chrome. If you haven't logged in for a period of time, it will then ask you for your password and login. Here we go. Connection is successful. We've signed in. We've got the message up on the right hand side of the screen, and let's just double check. There we go. Hovering over the sign in, it tells us that we are signed in through to Terra Office. From here on end, it's actually quite simple to pull in the data. Let us click on Terra Office projects, right, just to see that we ensure that we are working in the right project. It's selected. We can close that window, and now we go to field data. This was the only button we didn't look at throughout videos number 1 to 6. So this is actually the last step. We want to now extract the data from the cloud and bring it into the GIS. Once we do that, we'll view the data in the attribute tables. Okay, so we are going to be getting features. We aren't sending anything back. That will happen down the line in another video series. Okay, let's look at what options we have here. There really is only one or two things to click on. Let's click on this change button and see what happens. Okay, here we have a bit of a filter that we can set up to download work. So we are going to be downloading all forms. We can also select the time period that we want to collect within the last day. And this is quite useful in the event that you download every single day and you just want the latest daily data to come in every 2 days or every 3 days. It depends on your download cycles, so it is customizable. Extent of what you want to download. If you just want the part that you're looking at to be downloaded, that part of the screen, you can just choose that part. It will automatically apply a filter for that section and download that data only. And then you can also specify exactly which feature class, a single feature class that you want to download. If you have many in this database and you're just particularly looking for the water leaks, you can just choose that or any of the others. Lastly, we've got two options here: include forms marked as downloaded and also only post-processed forms. If you choose this option, and every time you want to download without unchecking this box, you will duplicate your data. So let's leave it off, and we want all the data to come through, not only processed forms. This seems to be more like an accuracy filter where you require extremely high accuracy data that was post-processed. But from experience, this also causes issues if data will be missing, and then you'll start scratching your head wondering why fieldwork was not included. So safest bet is to leave it off and look in the attribute table should you have an accuracy issue of how accurate those points were. Okay, so I'm just going to say we're going to download all, and we also want to mark those downloaded as downloaded, so there is a track that those points in future will not be downloaded again. Okay, so we are connected. We connected to them to the correct project, and then we say download forms. This is obviously dependent on you having an internet connection. And let's see what happens. Okay, so it's obviously internet is slow as always. We have been having some intermittent internet connectivity issues and network issues in our offices here in Pinetown. So let's give it a few minutes. Right, the download did complete, and we come up with a message of the form downloads. It's downloaded 7 forms for project WOD phase 8. Failed to write attribute meter number for feature water outlet device. Error, the field is not nullable. Okay, it did download all 7, but the way we wrote the feature data set conditions in the data dictionary on the form design was that if there is no meter, the meter number must be left blank. But the geodatabase, the field is not nullable, meaning there must be a value in it. Although it's downloaded the data, that field will be left blank. So this is not a critical error. The data did come through. Okay, so let's click OK on that window, and here it gives us some information of the points that were downloaded. Also that the post-processing failed. Could have just been because we were inside the building when we had the device on the windowsill, and it didn't get sufficient GPS data to allow it to post-process. Okay, so let me just close this. Let's look at the attribute tables. Okay, let's look at our water leaks. Let's just zoom to them. Okay, remember earlier in the videos we set up the auto fields, and you can see device ID when it was digitized, the collector. Remember, we assigned the collector device EWS GPS 001 and 002. The device we used for this videos was 001. Because these points were digitized, there were no estimations on the accuracy. You can see it was digitized. A project, we can see where the data needs to go. Obviously, no precisions. Okay, and then really speaking, it's a leak size. So let's just zoom to one of them and see what we have on the pop-up. Okay, here's one of them here. Okay, here's our pop-up, and then our photograph. Okay, so the image is here. Okay, and we have access to the images within the geodatabase. Let's look at some of our other feature classes. Let's look at our outlet devices. We have one here. Just double click and zoom to it. Wow, it's Friday afternoon and everything's gone a bit slow. Okay, now that it's eventually zoomed in to this point, let's have a look at it. Okay, and zoomed in a bit too much. Let's look at the pop-up. Okay, here's the autonomous fields, auto fields, and also information on the point as designed in our GDB, which went through to our forms. Let's just look at the attribute table now, and our photograph is there, also embedded in the GDB. Okay, all these are tracking fields, autonomous and not corrected because, again, GPS data was collected with the device on the windowsill, so we didn't get good coverage. Earlier I did say digitized points won't have estimated accuracies, but these were not digitized, these were GPSed, and the accuracy was poor, as was expected. Project name again, we've got precisions X and Y. Coordinates, elevation, height above loop side. Okay, this is where the information comes in handy that we've collected. Outlet device type. We didn't have a connection number. Okay, there's basically all the information we captured on the device that now has come through. Okay, let's just look at one more. Let's look at the meters installed. Attribute table. Got one point here. Let's zoom to. There we go. Okay, once again, dwelling number, connection number, all the information required for further processing and updating of datasets, which will form part of the sections workflow that are utilizing the system. Okay, I'm just going to save this map. Let me just add a base map here so we could see where we're standing. Let's just put the imagery on. Okay, while that is happening, I'm going to speak a little bit about what we went through this entire process, some of the pitfalls you might find, and so on. Okay, so this entire series comprised 7 parts. It was for publishing a project from ArcPro to Trimble TerraFlex. Right, the prerequisites, just once again, we're using ArcGIS 3.2, including the Trimble Terra Office extension. The Trimble Terra Office extension requires a valid license from Trimble. You need a Trimble identity account to use Trimble Connect. You need TerraFlex premium or advanced licenses and internet access. All those are prerequisites. We do not go through the finer details in this video. If you need any assistance, speak to the GIS office or the tracing office. We can guide you in getting those set up. Okay, the setting up of the GDB, that requires a bit of a higher knowledge of the GIS. We set up a file-based GDB together with the fields. Those FGDBs were based on the published datasets from the GIS office to maintain the field matching and the field mapping so that we could load the data back into the master datasets. Coordinate systems are important to set up in your ArcPro. We were using WKID 102568, which is the RTBS took 94 easting northing with the easting northing projection pattern. Thereafter we went through on video 3 creating the online project in Trimble Connect. That was straightforward and simple. Then video 4 publishing the project onto Trimble Connect. In video 4, that is. Video 5, editing the forms and symbology on Trimble Connect and setting up field users. Important that the forms, should there be any conditions, are set up correctly so that you don't end up with unnecessary lockouts for field staff where critical information is required. Please test all data dictionaries before they are sent live to the field teams. And then we went through the Trimble TerraFlex and collecting the data on the TDC 650 field device. That is in fact the most simplest part of this whole process. And then we synced the data back to the GIS. Okay, so that will bring us to an end with this video series. And should you have any queries, please contact me, Keshlin Reddy, or Avela Mania, who will be able to guide you further. I thank you for being so patient and going through this entire process. I may not have covered every single tiny aspect, and once again, should you need any information or queries or any assistance, please feel free to contact us. Okay, this is Keshlin Reddy signing out. Thank you.